another episode of Confidence Culture Conversations. And today we are on episode 41. Come on now. Woohoo! Okay, so I am one of your hosts, Elizabeth Olujimi, aka the Thriving Coach. And as always, with me in the virtual studio is my co host.
Hello, my name is Kirubai Kahoot, and I'm a transformational coach inside and out.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
together,
See how graceful she was there. I'm a transformation. Hey, okay, Kirubai, how are you?
I am well, but a little busy today. Lots of things happening in the background, but you know what, Elizabeth? All good. I'm happy to be here on Confidence Culture Conversations this evening on episode 41. So, Elizabeth, how was your day today, the 1st of August?
Do you know what the year
Yes.
is going like literally the year
Yes.
is going really fast. But I am grateful to go. Today was a good day. Um, today was a good day. So I was at the networking session this morning with women in business.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
There were about five of us in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about five of us in the room. So yeah, it was good to chat and to interact and to meet new people. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
And I remember you received an award from them last year, right?
I absolutely did. Yes, I did. And so actually the awards are coming up again. So I've been getting the emails. Do you want to nominate yourself? Do you want to nominate a businesswoman? So there's opportunity to nominate. So if you're a woman in business, this is me putting a plug in. You can actually nominate yourself, or you can get someone to nominate you. And it's literally, you can nominate yourself for the awards that will be handed out at the live event.
Mm-hmm.
And the live event happens, I think, sometime in October. Although I think there's different venues as well. Anyway, I want to go for the live event because it would be interesting to attend one of their live events. And also, there will be a virtual event in December, which is the one I did last year.
Mm-hmm.
So you can enter nominations on either or.
Mm-hmm.
So if, for example, you nominated yourself, your nomination would be confirmed once you've purchased your ticket for the event. So that's basically how the nominations work. You just kind of confirm the nomination by purchasing a ticket for the event. So honestly, like I say to the women in the room today, awards are a great way to increase your visibility.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in business 2.5 years now, and I have 5 or 6 awards to my name.
Well done. Well done.
So I love it. I love it. Bring it on. Any award, I'll take it. I'll take it. So hey, it gives me that little boost, and it means I can go out and say I'm an award-winning coach. I run an award-winning business
Well,
because I've got them behind
women
my
in business have been operating for a very long time in the UK.
name.
They are very well established, I must say.
Yeah, and with them, it's actually quite a. I when the award was being given last year, I felt really privileged because there were, in my particular category, there was about 15 women or more. So it was nice to win. It was really nice to win. I was so excited. Yeah, so honestly, I encourage anyone out there, like, put yourself forward for an award nomination, and you just never know, you might win it.
Yeah.
You just might win it. So yeah, go for it.
Good motivation. Good motivation.
Absolutely. So that was my morning.
Mhm.
And then I spent the afternoon with my number one fans, aka Tunji and Janaya. Yeah, and we literally got home about 15 minutes ago. So
Oh,
let's
so
roll.
you had a full-on day. Full-on day.
Yeah, something like that. But hey, we're here for it. And do you know what? I'm excited because it's a new month.
Yes.
A new month. We have done the first half of the year and we're now into the second half of the year. So
Mhm.
now is a perfect opportunity to look at the first half of the year, what things need changing, what things need shifting, and then realign yourself, reposition yourself for this other half of the year. So if
Yes.
there's things, you still want to do, like one of the things we ended on today in the networking session was what are three goals that you want to finish by the end of the year, that you want to accomplish by the end of the year. And I put myself forward and said some three which have been on my mind, on my table, in my face. And I'm like, I need to get this done. So yeah, if I say them here, that means you guys are gonna hold me accountable. So I don't know if I should say them.
Why not? Come on.
So one of them is to get my book done. Do-do-do. The other one is to launch my podcast. Do-do-do. And another one I want to do is I want to have a women's event, which will most likely be, I want to say November, but Kiruba is away in November, so we might just have to do it without her because she's going to be enjoying time in Israel. But November is kind of where I'm focusing on, and if I play my cards right and I do my planning and my working out very well, then I could launch the book at the event, and it will literally be the Thriving Woman event in person, not virtual. In
Oh,
person.
well done. Well
You
done.
gotta be in the room. You gotta be in the room. And I kind of already have one speaker who has already said, I want to support you. I want to be there. And she's not based in the UK.
Ooh, surprise, surprise.
So that means it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So if you're a woman who wants to thrive, right? And we're talking thriving in business, in your career, in your faith, in your relationships, we're gonna bring it. We're gonna bring that discussion into the room. So November, I will work on the details behind the scenes with my boss, aka Tunji, and then get back to
Have you got dates for it?
I haven't yet got dates for it, but my birthday's in November, 26th of November, so it might be around that time. So
25th
we'll
is
see.
actually a Saturday.
Sorry?
25th is actually a Saturday.
So we might go with that date. Who knows?
And don't forget to plug in. Tunji is having an event coming.
Yes, he is. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So if you want to get started on your book, there's a book in you. There's a book in you. You've got a story to tell. You've got, expertise you want to share. Come on, it's time to get your book done. So, my amazing husband, the number one book coach in the whole wide world, is having an event. It is
Agree.
on 16th of September
Mhm.
in London. So it's an in-person event. Amazing speakers. Amazing. I'm looking forward to the event because, of course, I'm gonna be there. Like my diary is clear. I'm gonna make sure I'm there because I want to get my book done. So anyone else that wants to get going on their book journey, then you need to be at this amazing event. And DM me for further details because I don't think I have the link on here, but DM me for further details so that you can get that book done before the end of the year. It's in September. So that means like my husband coaches people to write books within 90 days. So September, November, September, October,
October.
November, December, by Christmas. Ooh, by Christmas, you could be holding your book in your hand. You could be saying, I'm not wishing to be an author. I am an author.
Well done.
There you go. There you go. Plug done. Kirubai, what are we talking about today?
Well, what we are talking about today is one of my favorite subjects. It's about building your character with confidence and being a transformational coach inside and out. I always place emphasis on the areas of your life inside. And when you are successful inside, success shows in your outward parts. A lot of us, when even me included, um, always concentrate on the outside success.
Mm-hmm.
How we can be successful outside, our personal development on the outside. You know, mean, I'm not putting a wet blanket on what you have spoken earlier, but all those things, all those components are important. But when your insights are not in the right place, you're outside, you can't show up and shine.
Hmm. When your insides are not in the right place, you can't show up and shine. Come on now. Okay.
And talking about show up and shine. So I thought, and I just wanted to plug this in. I thought I thought that I will support Elizabeth, my co-host, and go on this challenge of showing up and shining. And indeed, it is all about visibility. And you know, in this world of social media, visibility is very, very vital. If
Absolutely.
people want to check your creditability, they check your visibility.
Hmm. If people want to check your credibility, they check your visibility. Kirubai has come today. Okay, Coach K, let's go.
Yes, so visibility in Facebook and in LinkedIn, in Instagram, in TikTok. So this challenge, I've just jumped on it. I mean, I am rather invisible, not invisible, but visible. But I thought, why not? Let me have some intentionality and consistency, and do a video and talk about things that matter to me and I'm passionate about. So, one of my passions is character building. Character building. And today we're going to talk about that. We are really going to dig into the word character. So, character is part and parcel of our lives,
Mm-hmm.
and it is an inside job. Character is all about an inside job.
Okay.
So the inside job is of course hidden. It's hidden, but somehow rather that inside job will come forth shining through all our successes and the future successes and the things that are rightfully ours. And so I thought, and this is what one of the things that I always talk about to the people I mentor and coach. You got to get your insights right.
Mm.
And as children, as we grow up to be teenagers and as adults, there are a lot of things that we push under the carpet that
Uh-oh.
we might not deal with. And I'm the greatest example.
Mm.
The traumatic things that I went through, I never could speak about openly, or not even speak to one other person I can trust. So, the suffering I went through, I always thought that this was my sore point for myself, but a sore point, a pain point for me could be someone else's blessing. So
Very true.
yes, so now you can't stop me from talking about my trauma.
Mm.
So, but I'm helping someone. So we need to please listen. Those who are listening to this live, please, for your goodness sake, work on your character. And one of the very important things that John Maxwell says in his 15 invaluable laws of growth is the value of character.
Mm-hmm.
And character growth determines the height of your personal growth.
Ooh. Okay. Drop that again. Drop that again. Come on.
Character growth determines the height of your personal growth. We always don't equate our character growth to personal growth. And I was so surprised when I was reading uh, the law of the ladder, that
Mm-hmm.
is part of the character, and it really says that the ladders of character growth that will build our confidence outwardly. And a lot of us struggle with confidence and imposter syndrome is because
Wow.
we are not built, Paulette is there, and we are not built strongly in our character,
Mm,
knowing what is the value that we carry. That is part of character because we appreciate ourselves and
mhm.
we take ourselves seriously and work on those things that push us back. So what are the character trails that doesn't sit right with me? For instance, let me make let me a
You're the
good,
case study.
yeah, a case study, a good sample of I struggled with a particular character trail that was never good, never good, and I had to work with it. And you know what character trail that I struggled with, Elizabeth? Do you think you can help me with this? Make a wild guess.
What on the character trait you struggled with?
Yes,
I
I
don't
had
want to
to.
make a wild guess. I don't want to. I don't want to get it wrong.
No, come on, be real and just tell me, what do you think?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Character trait that you struggled with.
Hmm,
Is it to do with your communication? I don't know.
maybe, maybe. But this was something that I carried. I carried it. It was like my second skin.
What, like bitterness and unforgiveness?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and and uh, and I struggled for a long time with bitterness, anger, unforgiveness. But I had to deal with it. I had to deal with it. And how do we deal with it? So today we're going to talk about a few ways that we can deal with issues like this. I had to take the bull by the horn and say, I need to sort this out. Because you know what? Unforgiveness, bitterness, and anger will show up outwardly in the way we relate to people, relationships. You want to be at peace with everyone. You want to be at peace with everyone. And these things, these negative characters in our lives, is actually brings toxicity in our being.
Mm.
So if you look at me now, you would never say that I struggled with it. True, Elizabeth?
Very true.
But for the longest time, I struggled with it.
Mm.
Even though I was a woman of faith, I read the Bible, but you know what? I had to take it to God in my free will and say, God, please deal with me. I don't like myself.
Mm.
I hated myself. And that, when you start hating yourself, it demeans your confidence. I couldn't shine. I couldn't shine. You know, this is something I need to tell you. You know, in Asia, the culture that I come from, there's a lot of colorism.
Okay.
Okay. So, you know, when you are dark or very brown, you will tend to not find nice suitors because they always want to look outwardly.
Mm.
Okay. And for the longest time, I had this. It's like like a shroud over my face. I felt the dimness and the darkness, and I just felt dark because my insides were very dark and black.
Mm.
And when I started to deal with what was inside, and suddenly my face started lit because I was in the right place.
That's
So
great.
the people who actually said, no, she's very dark, I'm not interested in marrying her, came and asked for my hand. I said, oh, you refused me. Why should I marry you?
Your confidence was back then.
Exactly. I said, no, if somebody doesn't take me for who I am and wants to propose or ask my hand in marriage because of my fairness, then I'm not worth it.
Mm.
So I believe
Or rather, they're not worth it. Like you're worth it. They're not worth it.
I'm sorry. I'm not worthy to marry those people because I've got value.
That's it.
That's it. So talking about character, it really intrigues me. Those things that are negative, honestly, it does show on your face,
Mm.
your
Mm.
eyes, and the way you speak, communication. Because if you have bitterness, anger, and unforgiveness in your heart, anything that triggers, you communicate negatively.
Very true.
So, communication. Elizabeth, what do you think about it? Is there some light you can shed on this word communication and character?
Communication and character. Oh, okay. No, do you know what? First of all, thank you for your vulnerability there and sharing like your journey and your story. To anyone that's watching, thanks for joining us. Please engage in the conversation. We would love to hear from you. Pauline, it's good to see you. I hope you are feeling much better. um please let us know that you are feeling much better. I think I sent you a message on Messenger, so just let me know. But yes, thank you to everyone joining, whether on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. So you've come into the conversation, and Kirubai was just talking about her past experience and how issues with her character had affected her confidence. And our conversation today is based on John Maxwell's book, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, particularly looking at the law of the ladder, which states that character growth determines the height of your personal growth. So if you don't deal with growing your character, then there's only so far you can go in developing your growth, developing yourself, developing your confidence as a person. So just going on to the communication piece that you mentioned, Kirubai.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely, like, if your character will be evident in your communication.
Most definitely.
Your character will be evident in your communication. So character, as much as you had mentioned earlier on that character is an inside job, which I totally agree, but it's an inside job which manifests itself on the outside. So for those that are joining, myself and Kirubai are women of faith, of the Christian faith. And in the Bible, one of the things it talks about is out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth
Mhm.
speaks. And the mouth speaks to do verbal communication, right? So we can communicate in different ways. But when we talk like about verbal communication, your verbal communication is a result of what is going on the inside. And I'm just reminded of Pauline, we thank God that you're on the road to recovery. That's great to hear. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know. Um, I'm just reminded of a little thing that happened yesterday, and it's nothing major, just something little, but I'll share it, and maybe it will bring some light on this communication thing as well. We were getting onto a bus. It was a busy bus, and people were sort of moving here and there, and we were slow getting into the bus. But there was a lady who was slightly older than us, that was kind of coming in behind us, and we didn't realize that she was behind us. But then again, there were people in front of us, so there was not much movement we could do. But all of a sudden, she just started shouting,
Oh,
for us to sort of move out of the way, to move forward. And it was like, calm down. And it just so happened that she spoke the same language as Tunji. And it was Tunji that she made the statement to. So Tunji kind of just tried to appease the situation. But it's the way she said it. It's like, woman, don't you see? We're all trying to get through. Like, but it was evident. It was, and it could just be. I mean, we had come from picking something up in the hospital, and they had been in the hospital as well. So I don't know what was going on with her. So maybe she had a lot that she was dealing with. That she just, there was that impatience about her. And when we're not very patient people, which also can be a thing of character, we become irritable.
Mm-hmm.
When we are put in situations where we have to exercise patience, we become irritable. And that in itself then affects our communication, the way we are communicating. And if your communication is of gives off negative vibes, ah, if it gives off negative vibes, then like people are not even going to want to be around you.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, you might not see your confidence wearing off, but gradually you start to realize that people don't even want to associate with you because you're giving off this negativity in your communication.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
so that confidence is going to be affected
Mm-hmm.
one way or the other. It might not be affected in the immediate, but it's over time. Just like our confidence is built over time, our confidence can be affected over time as well. So we have to be conscious and guard against these things, and that's why it's important and it's necessary for us to be people of good character.
So true. So true. So true. Communication and character. There's so much of relevancy between both the things, because as you were speaking, one of the things that I thought about is, um, when I like that quote they said, out of the mouth of no
Out
out
of
of
the
the mouth
abundance of the heart,
abundance of a
mouth
heart the
speaks.
mouth speaks. So
Mm.
one of the things that while I was reading, John Maxwell writes about his friend called John, and he always used the book of Proverbs, because he took a lot of nuggets from the book of Proverbs,
Mm.
and that was something that kept him in the straight and narrow. And John was a very big business person, and he met a lot of people, in terms of running his business, his associates, and people who walked through his pathway. He said he met a lot of people he personally couldn't tolerate.
Mm.
But we forget this heart matter. We tend to be sensitive, and we can pick up the negative vibes of someone, and that is this power of discernment that each of us carry. Some
Mm.
people, you just don't want to be near them, because they carry this negative vibes, and that comes from their soul, the character of the soul, that the character they carry.
Wounded souls.
Wounded soul. And it can be patched up, it can be repaired when you just deal with these things. So this guy John, and he was talking about it so vehemently, about how the Proverbs kept him in the straight and narrow, and he picked those good characteristics the writer writes, that we have to have integrity, we have to have honesty, we have to we have to be truthful. And he was talking about many different positive character traits. So they did a poll amongst business people, and the poll, right, what was the one important thing they talked about when somebody wants to do business with the other, or they want to be together with that person, or be in association with that person, connect with the person? You wouldn't believe it. It was not your skills, it was not the way you put yourself forward. It was never such thing, but it was boiling down to the word honesty, to be
Mm.
honest. So people look to honest people that will not cheat you, that will honor you, to be truthful to you. And that was very interesting. If you're a multi-million dollar businessman, he must be very, very clued in to know the other person that he's dealing with, who's who's to be honest. So
Mm.
people can see through true and true. So I urge you, everyone, including myself, it is a work in progress,
That's it.
dealing with the negative trails of our character.
Hmm.
And in some or other, you can't hide either you're honest or you're dishonest.
But do you know what? It's one of those things that your character will always reveal itself,
Yes.
because your character is really who you are.
Hmm.
It's who you are. So it's going to show up. You can't hide your character.
Hmm.
It will be evidenced in the way you interact with people.
Hmm.
It will be it will be evident, honestly, and it's something that people, you start to see people disappear from you if you are someone of bad character. You will start
Hmm.
to see it happen, and you'll be wondering why. But you walk into a room and like everyone's trying to find the nearest exit. If you're someone of bad character, and like Kirubai was saying, for all of us, like, it's character is something that I can't help you with your character. Like, I can't. It's something that you have to do.
Hmm.
It's something that you have to fix, and it's about being honest with yourself, getting into a place of self-awareness, greater self-awareness, and understanding what is it about me, about my character, that needs to change. How do I show up when I show up? Am I someone of integrity? Do I say one thing and do the other? Am I someone who gives my word and I'm faithful to do it? Like, customers pay, clients pay. Do I deliver when clients pay? Do I stick to what I have promised the client? And I'm gonna go here as well. Like, time.
Oh.
Do we manage our time correctly? Because you can't be a person of good character but not honor people's time.
Mm.
I'm sorry, but I'm going there.
Mhm.
Because sometimes we make plans with people and then we don't show up at the right time. And we don't even notify them that we're running late.
Mhm.
We just rock up as and when. That's bad character.
Mhm.
There's no, let's call a spade a spade.
Oh,
That's
there.
bad character.
She's been provoked, Elizabeth.
There is no such thing as black man's time. There is no such thing as African time. There is no such thing, because I don't hear white man's time. I hear black man's time. I don't hear white man's time. I hear African time. Come on.
Well,
That's an excuse.
let's add the Indians too into that equation.
They do that too. Indian time.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my days, that's an excuse, and it's a flaw in our character that we need to deal with. So if you're listening today and you find yourself in that vacuum of people, deal with it.
Yes.
Deal with
They,
it, because that could be the very thing that's costing you a promotion. That could be the very thing that's costing you your £1 million client.
mm, so true.
Go deal with it.
Oh, wow, Elizabeth, you are going on. You are taking it to the another level. Yes, it's so true. The, there is a universal unwritten, or you could say written, rule that we always need to honor someone's time.
Mm.
Yeah.
And sorry, Kiribai, sorry to cut
Go
you
on.
short.
Sorry.
Regardless of if they're older or younger than you,
Ooh.
it still applies. Honor their time. Please, like, you get a reputation
Mm.
if you are someone who doesn't value people's time. You build a reputation for yourself, and it's not a good reputation.
So true. I mean, I'm totally on board with you. I'm totally on board with you. And it's also the Asian mentality. They call it the expendable rubber band time.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Because you can stretch it. So I'm guilty of it because sometimes if I want to go for an Asian function, if they say 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock, it's supposed to start at 7, but you go there, nobody's there.
Honestly,
And
this
they carry
this conversation is going somewhere.
and
Somebody needs to listen to this.
then they carry it through into our church service, a very important wedding celebration. So, a bride can, I could give her 5 to 10 minutes max to come. They always say, let the bride come a little later. We respect that. Okay, fine. But then brides come half an hour later, 45 minutes later. That's not good. You keep your guests waiting.
Like you wouldn't be late for a job interview.
Oh, people go late for job interviews.
See, people are losing out on money. People are losing out on finances that could help you and your family just because you've not fixed how you deal with time.
Time waits for no man.
Like we need to learn to be people who value time. I like to tell people that we all get the same 24 hours. It's up to us what we do with those 24 hours. So if we arrange a meeting for such and such a time, let's honor it. Someone doesn't have, so much time, like they have nothing to do with their time, that they'll just sit around waiting for you. No. Be people of good character who honor this time situation. Now, Kiruba, you mentioned weddings, and Africans do it, and it's so annoying. And me and Tunji, we decided that we will show up on the time that is said on the card. And in most cases, we show up and we're the first ones there, like they're still setting up. I remember when it was our wedding. So people said, "Oh, put a time that gives people like an hour or 2 hours, so that like let's not start at the time that is stated on the invitation." I said, "Look, I'm big on my time, so if I say 10, it's 10." So we literally, I think on the invitation we put 10 o'clock. We told the vicar 10:30 we are walking into the church. So 10 o'clock to 10:30, people should be seated. So some people arrived and they missed the function. Because they showed up late.
What, 1-2 hours late?
Yeah. But I remember my pastor's wife saying to me, "Elizabeth, are you sure you can pull this off?" I said, "Watch me." I said, "Watch me." 10:30 on the dot. Bing. Cue the music. We started walking into the church.
Well done.
Because I'm going to honor people's time. There's people who've been there since,
Yes.
let's be real. And, at the end of the day, my pastor's wife was like, "Wow, that's one of the first weddings that I've attended that's on time."
It's very disrespectful when you don't honor someone's time. Disrespectful.
There you go. You go to some functions and you sit around for hours and hours and hours. Like, we all don't have the mindset of we're going to show up late. Some of us actually show up on time. So it can be frustrating. I remember once we went to a function and we sat around for hours. I think it was 4 hours or 5 hours before the function started. And yes, there were circumstances behind it, but no one was telling us what was going on. So we were just waiting. Those that had kids, the kids were crying, the kids were hungry. We're like, "Where's the food? When is the food coming?" I understand if it's issues out of your control, then please let somebody know, let the other person know, out of respect for the other person. Like, let them know. Don't leave them hanging, wondering, "Oh, is this person going to show up? Is this person not going to show up?" I mean, I went for the networking thing today, and There was a bit of confusion in who was going to lead, but I had gone with the mindset that I might have to lead because the person that leads was not there. And the lady who sent me the email about it said, if you want to, you can step in and lead. So we were starting at 10. I got there for 9:30 because I needed to get used to the venue that I was in. I needed to get accustomed to the place, introduce myself, because the venue was it was a meeting room in a bank.
Mm.
So I needed to introduce myself to the bank manager. The bank manager showed me around, and then I sat down and waited for people to arrive. And at about 10:15, 10:30, this lady walks in and she's like, "Oh, I'm leading. I'm sorry, I'm late." I was like, "Oh." So we need to be people who honor other people's time.
Mm.
Whether we are doing events, whether we are doing whatever it is. Because honestly, the thing is, when you put money to it, then they'll take you seriously. Because they show up for their shift on time. Well, most of them, because they don't want to lose the job.
It's an unwritten rule. You always need to be in a place, an event, or even a function 10 minutes before it starts, so you can settle down. And that's the rule that has been practiced in my household.
Mm,
If we are going out, I need to be down 10 minutes before we take off. So I always ask Robert, what time do we need to leave? So I will work my way around, and 10 minutes before that, I'm down, just looking, everything is locked up and all. If I'm not down, I will get a year full. And that's the way he was taught by his parents. So
mm,
I've picked up that good habit, just honoring time. Another area, I think, since we are on this subject about character, is when you borrow money from someone.
mm.
When you promise them, people out of the goodness of their hearts, they lend you money when you are going through some difficulties, and you say, I will pay you back within a week or a month or a year,
Mm,
and you do not honor that timing to pay back, and that shows bad character.
mm, mm,
For to your friend who has been kind to you, if you do that, it's really being disrespectful. You can't do that with your mortgage, can you? You can't do that if you have what do they say, the loan sharks. You can't do that. They
mm,
come after you. So when people do things out of the goodness of their heart, honor it. And that is
mm.
good character. And if you really can't honor your word at that point in time, it's always good to be honest and be open and be genuine. Your level of respect.
Do you know what? And when you are a person of good character, it opens doors.
Mhm.
It opens doors. Your name is mentioned in rooms
Oh, yeah, that's scripture.
because of your good character.
Yeah.
So like yes, we want to develop ourselves mentally, but let's also not forget to develop our characters.
Yeah. And I think you can change any part of your character if you willfully take it on. There's some things that you cannot change. It's like your fingerprints,
Mm-hmm.
but your character you can change.
Can change it.
Yeah, through counseling, through mentoring, through coaching, through prayer, and supplicating, asking God to help you with your character.
Getting in the right environment.
Yes, being in the right environment, being accountable. I have friends who can tell me off if I do something wrong, and I'm happy to take it on board, and then I'll check, because nobody is perfect,
Mm.
and you always need someone to check on you, not because they want to put you down, but They want to take on board. They want you to be that better person, and that's fine. So let's not take offense when somebody tells you something is not right.
Mm,
Why is there a repetition? When something is falling in pattern in our lives, in our character, then we have to stop and think, I'm constantly doing this. Why? Good practices, you constantly do, it's all right. But bad practices, I'm thinking of what is a bad practice.
a lying tongue,
Yeah, a
telling
lying,
white lies,
yeah, lying tongue.
whatever white lies are, I don't even know. But I didn't know lies come in colors. But hey, fabricating the truth.
So we always we are always want to determine what happens to us, but we can always determine what happens within us. What happens around us sometimes is beyond our control.
That's
But
it.
so what happens within us is within our control.
Mm,
So a good character, nurturing a good character is within our control. So perseverance, courage, wisdom is it's good character that we need to pursue wisdom and knowledge, which will build our insights, work on our insights. So it's a work in progress till we are called home by God. It is a work in progress. So don't beat yourself up. Oh, I got this, I got that. But good seeds that we plant for our children in a very young age. So when I was thinking about character, why there are so many crimes of young people, parents have not helped them to say what is right and wrong. Don't you think so? That will help in their character. I don't know about schools in this country. Back home, if we do something wrong, the naughty corner, or we will be standing there till we find out why is my teacher doing this to me?
mm,
Because we she would say you have not dealt fairly with the person sitting next to you. You might just push her, shove her. These are all bad things that we do to one another. But if the teacher doesn't stop us in our strides, who's going to stop us? Same as parents. If our children are doing some bad things, we have to stop them and correct them.
absolutely,
Because
absolutely, and it's one of those things. And I think when I look at maybe the way we raise people within the African culture, the way we raise up children in the African culture, and I look at the way it's done here. Here, there's a lot more conversation.
mm-mm.
If you grew up in the African culture, there was not much conversation in when
What?
you're being told off. But here, there's more conversation, so you can so that the child can start to so that the child can have an understanding of what it is that they did wrong,
Yeah.
and so that you as a parent can also understand where they were coming from with
Mhm,
what they did.
mhm,
And like there's some things that Janaya learns at nursery sometimes. And I remember one time they were talking about kind hands. So when the kids are being naughty or not done something right, they remind them, kind hands. And as parents, or aunties, uncles, big brothers, big sisters, we have a responsibility to model what good character looks like for our young children. And I lately I've been intentionally, or intentionally going out of my way to do some kind acts. And it's kind acts that let me say they come looking for me, right? But it just so happens that they come looking for me at a time when I'm with Janaya. And so I'm able to sort of say, this is how we do, this is what we do. And I'll give you a quick example. On Saturday, we took a train to Nottingham. Myself and Janaya, on the way back, the train was busy, and we were sat like on a sort of a table set. And so there were two seats facing us. And this young lady and her mom got on and they were looking for somewhere to sit. And initially, the daughter had walked past where we were sat, because she was looking for somewhere that the two of them could sit. So I say to her, I said, you can come and sit here. And so they came and sat there. And then at some point, we were passing one of the last stations and they seemed a bit confused. And I later found out, when I got into interaction with them in that moment, that they were on the train for the first time by themselves. So they were a bit confused about where they needed to change, what train they needed to be in. So when I checked their ticket, I was like, "Ooh, this train was not going where you're going." So we had conversations around that, and we were able to then. I say to them, "Look, you can get a connection in London. So when we get to London, we'll have to speak to the guys at the ticket desk, let them know that it was an
Genuine
they
mistake.
were with ignorance, a lack of knowledge kind of situation, and begged the ticket guys to let them through the barrier so that they could go and get the train that they needed to get without having to pay any extra for that. And it just so happened to it, and I haven't yet shared this on social media, which I wanted to, but to add to it, there was a nice surprise to it, because this young lady was about 14 years old, and she was coming from the British chess championships. And she had just won the under 16 British chess champion, was sat right in front of me with her mom. And I had an opportunity to be kind. And just explaining that to Janaya, like sometimes you don't know who you're serving. And so when it is in your power to do acts of kindness, and kindness is not just something you wake up and do, you nurture it in your character. Because I could have been bothered about my own business and not even help them. To the point that, we arrived and we went out of our way to make sure that they got on the right train. I could have walked home with my daughter. But I said, no, we take them all the way until they get onto their train so we know that they're okay.
Well done.
And that's modeling, practically modeling for our children.
Yeah, Jenna is seeing it, you see.
Yeah, she's seeing it, and she knows this is what we do. You see someone hungry, and you have the capacity, the finances to be able to buy them some food. There is no harm in offering someone some food. It's better than giving them the money that they'll go and squander. But you can just ask them, what would you like to eat? And you quickly dash and get something. But it's modeling these things. And at one point, Janaya is asking, Mommy, but you say we shouldn't talk to strangers, but then you're helping strangers. And she's trying to understand it. So I'm having to explain that aspect to her. So, and for those that don't know, she's only 4 years old. But we have to model these things. We have to model good character for our children so that they can go out and be people of good character.
Yeah, so true, so true. And talking about modeling, my mom was a very hospitable person. My mom and dad. So I have picked that up from my mom. When someone comes to my house, and we go all the way out to make them comfortable, and
I am witness to that.
so it's those things that we pick up from our parents, our teachers, sometimes people who mentor us. We pick up the good things, good character trails that they have, that we want to emulate in our lives. And going back to self-reflection, it is a lifelong of learning, lifelong of personal developing your character. Lifelong. Yeah, lifelong. Just let's not develop our business, our finances, our relationships, but let's develop ourselves. When we develop our insides, you'll get all the best from the outsides.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to start to shut this down on that note. So Kirubai, was that your last word, or do you want to bring in the last word? That was the last word.
Last word.
So just before we close, so I'm going to plug this in because Kiruba is part of it, so I might as well plug it in. So today is Fast of August. Fast of August. We're into a new month. So I have launched another group for the Show Up and Shine Social Media Visibility Challenge. If you're a Christian woman and you struggle to show up consistently on social media, I want to help you. I want to support you. I want to hold you accountable. But more importantly, I want to bring you into a group where you can relate with other Christian women, where you can challenge each other, inspire each other, motivate each other to show up more consistently on social media. Why? Because someone needs the light that you carry. Someone on social media, there's over 4 billion people on social media. Let them not just be consumed by darkness. Bring some light. Come and spread some light
Well,
so that they can receive that light because you've got light that you carry. It's time that you started showing up and shining on social media, not just once every month. Happy New Month, guys! And then you're off again, and then you're monitoring people, but you're doing nothing. You're just monitoring people's activities, and then you're back again. And no, come and engage.
you carry the monitoring spirit, eh?
Said it, not me. You said it, not me. So, ladies, if you would like to join us, this is the link. It's literally, you can also DM me for further details, and I will be able to send you the link so you can register. It's only day one, so there's still 30 days to go. Yeah, so it's not too late for you to sign up and to join. The ladies who did the challenge in July have so many amazing stories to share, and I am just blown away by how their showing up on social media has shifted as a result of just the challenge that we've been doing and the accountability that they have been held under. So Christian women, join us. Kiruba is on it. So I told her before we started that video, it needs to be done. It needs to be done. So hey.
I am going to do it. I just want to be with the tribe of women who are like-minded women, and just be happy.
There you go. There you
Just be
go.
happy. Put a smile on my face. So with that, we'll say goodbye and good night, good morning, uh, wherever you are. Good afternoon. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being part of Confidence Culture Conversations today.
Absolutely. God bless you.
God bless.